So welcome everybody. We are absolutely thrilled that you're joining us for the nutritional benefit of spices. And my name is Rachel Justice, and along with my partner, Jillian Levinson, we co-lead the Woman to Woman Gynecologic Cancer Support Program. We are so happy that you're here with us today. Really looking forward to this session. We have a great guest speaker who some of you might remember from a really interesting session on therapeutic sound frequency. Anika is a very well-rounded and has a lot of diverse interests because this is a completely different type of session, but just as interesting. So I'm going to actually turn the mic over to Anika Jagasia, who is going to tell us a little bit about herself and tell us about this session. And I'm going to sit back and relax and just enjoy and start planning my recipes and spices in my head. I'm really excited. So thank you, Anika, so much for being here today and for sharing your interest and passion with us. And we're looking forward to learning from you for the next hour.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. And thank you everyone who joined today. I'm looking forward to our session. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Great. Let's see. Okay, great. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our session on the profound impact of spices on nutritional well-being. My name is Anika, and I'm a graduate student who's passionate about the intersection between nutrition and also holistic healthcare. Today, we're going to be exploring spices that not only add flavor, but also have so many potential health benefits. I wanted to begin our session by giving a little bit of a historical context about.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Just are you able to make your to make it actually full screen, because we can still see just on top. We can still see some of
Oh, really? Okay. Let's see.
If not, no worries, and we can still see it this way, but it just, I had a preview of your beautiful slides and they're actually really quite lovely. So I want everyone to be able to appreciate them. But if not, no worries.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I actually don't know how to get rid of it.
No worries at all.
Okay. Yes, my apologies everybody for seeing my bookmark tab bar. But yeah, so going back to the historical context. So spices have actually played a very crucial role in history, far beyond like them serving as culinary ingredients. Originating over 4,000 years ago, they were actually among the first commodities to be traded internationally. And just to highlight a few like key spices such as like turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, those were spices at the time that were so valuable that they were actually considered their weight in gold. And then later on in this presentation, I'll talk about their similarly valuable potential health benefits. I also wanted to share about the cultural significance of spices because they hold significant places beyond the kitchen. And in many cultures, spices have played a both like pivotal role in medicinal practices, culinary efforts, and even religious rituals. So for example, in traditional Indian Ayurveda, turmeric is actually used for its healing properties, and spices that were used in historical rituals, such as in Egypt, were cumin and coriander, which were used in mummification. I wanted to also connect the question of how do spices impact our health to the science behind it, which is all coming down to the biological properties in spices that are thought to have special properties that can induce changes in cellular processes, including those involved with apoptosis, cell division, drug metabolism, and cell differentiation. There's many nutritional benefits of spices, and I wanted to share the key nutritional benefits. Spices are known to have anti-inflammatory properties, antioxidant benefits, and their biological properties, which I previously shared, are super helpful in terms of like affecting and impacting our cell processes in beneficial ways. To elaborate on the anti-inflammatory properties, that's particularly important when it comes to managing systemic inflammation, which is often associated with like health conditions such as like cancer, among others. And antioxidant benefits are really important because those help combat oxidative stress in our bodies, which ultimately helps protect our cells from damage. And then obviously beyond those two benefits, there's also certain spices that have nutritional benefits that can help side effects of certain like treatments and health conditions, including cancer treatment. For example, there's ginger, which has the nutritional benefit of helping mitigate nausea, which is often induced by chemotherapy. So along these lines of nutritional benefits, I wanted to share more in depth about the antioxidant benefits of spices. So just to give a little bit of an overview on antioxidants, they're basically substances that protect the body from free radicals. And free radicals often are like floating in the air. So there's a lot, from my research, I understand that there's more free radicals in the air coming from pollution in cities than there are like in the countryside. And I selected a few spices that I researched to have like and found to have like high antioxidant properties. Those include clove, peppermint, allspice, cinnamon, oregano, thyme, sage, and rosemary. And so those were key spices with potent antioxidant properties. And on this slide, I wanted to highlight 3 spices that, after much research, I found to have very special effects and long-lasting benefits too. The first one is turmeric. So turmeric is unique because it contains curcumin, which is shown to be promising in reducing inflammation. And curcumin is actually an active compound in turmeric, but it's not easily absorbed by our body. So combining it with black pepper enhances the bioavailability and absorption. And secondly, ginger. Ginger is known for its effectiveness in alleviating nausea as well as improving digestion. And lastly, we have cinnamon. And studies have actually found that cinnamon can help regulate blood sugar levels, as well as improve cognitive function, which I found to be a super interesting, long-lasting benefit of cinnamon. And moving on to the practical application of spices in daily diets. Integrating these spices into your diet can be both simple and beneficial, and I wanted to share some easy ways how you guys can do it. And then carrying on our 3 example spices, I highlighted turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon, and ways that we can like add into our diet. So I use these 3 spices very often in my own cooking when I am stir frying or even like making a shake. I'll add in some turmeric, and I'll always make sure to add in like a little like sprinkle of black pepper, so it's like helping the bioavailability. And some of you may also remember that or recognize turmeric supplements, and the labels on turmeric supplements typically say that it has turmeric plus black pepper in it, and that's for the purpose of just increasing the ability for our bodies to absorb the turmeric, the curcumin in the turmeric. Ginger is super easy to add into your diet. Every morning I actually have green tea, and I buy the frozen little ginger cubes from Trader Joe's, and it's super easy. I just pop out a ginger cube from the freezer into my green tea, and it adds a little bit of kick. And it's a great way to start off your digestion in a very balanced way for the day. And cinnamon is also super easy to add in to your baking, or even just regular meals such as yogurt. I personally add this into my oatmeal every morning. Those are easy ways. I also wanted to talk about selecting and storing spices for optimal freshness. This was a very new/interesting topic for me to learn about while researching for this presentation, because I knew that spices didn't necessarily have an expiration date, but I didn't know that it's still really important to be aware about how old your spices are. And so spices actually don't expire in a way that makes them unsafe to eat, but they do lose their potency over time. So it's really important to know how old your spices are, because their age can significantly affect their nutritional benefits, and even the flavor of your food and how your taste is receptive towards it. So that's why consuming expired spices might not give your food the desired flavor, or ruin your flavor profile, but it's just still important to be aware of it. And in addition to that, I decided to talk about a couple of guidelines when it comes to buying your spices before obviously storing it. It's super important to notice the appearance of your spice that you're purchasing at the store. Sometimes if you look at the differences in color, there are hints that more vibrant colors indicate more fresher potencies. And this is actually something that I have noticed when I've purchased turmeric in the past at stores. There's so many different variations in the color of turmeric, and personally I never knew that it actually mattered. But after this, I've now learned that a vibrant and brighter color can indicate a fresher and more potent turmeric. And it's also pretty important to pay attention to the reputation of the supplier, where you're sourcing it from or getting it from, because that can make a big difference in the nutritional benefits that somebody can reap from turmeric. Next is the proper storage. So it's super important to keep your spices in cool, dark places that are away from heat and light, as well as keep an organized manner of them, such as labeling and dating them. And both of those components are really important to track the freshness of your spices. And when it comes to maximizing potency, it's also important to regularly check the color and smell to assess quality. Oftentimes, if spices are sitting there for a little bit of a longer period of time, they'll start to maybe smell a little duller, or it'll lose its nice aroma. And a general guideline that I found for a proper replacement period is between 6 months, and sometimes they can last up to 2 years. So it really varies. And because of the variation in its potency, that's why it's just important to be aware of how you're storing it, purchasing it, and also using it. There are many studies that have looked into the role of the nutritional and biological properties of spices when it comes to the prevention and treatment of certain health conditions, cancers, among other health conditions. And many studies have looked at the cell processes that I kind of briefly overviewed earlier. And this, I found a unique study that really talked about, that highlighted specific spices such as garlic, saffron, black pepper, chili pepper, turmeric, and ginger, which all contain important bioactive compounds, such as curcumin, thymoquinine, piperidine, and capsaicin. And previously, I talked about like the importance of curcumin as a bioactive compound in turmeric, and so these other bioactive compounds are evident in the other types of spices, and that's truly what like helps spices like impact our bodies, like by helping and improving like different types of cell processes and main mechanisms that happen in our body. It's also important to know that many studies have found a lot of correlations between like positive benefits, but there's still lots of like ongoing research at the moment. So there's not very evident and very like clear pointers that are proving a very like clear conclusion. So that's why a lot of this is all being studied and researched currently. And yes, that is my presentation for today. I wanted to thank you all for your time. I included my sources that talked about the health benefits of herbs and spices. And yes, I'm open to any questions.
Thank you so much, Anika. That was really, really interesting. I learned a lot of stuff, and I really need to, I think, throw out almost every single spice that I have because I think most of them are expired based on that. And I understand the point, which is really interesting, that it's not going to hurt you. It's not that they've gone bad, but they've just sort of lost their potency, which I think makes a lot of sense. I'm wondering if you know anything or have any thoughts about you mentioned the source, about organic versus non-organic.
Yeah. So that also has been an interesting topic for me too to learn about. When it comes to like when I purchase organic and non-organic foods, I usually follow the general guideline of like whatever fruits or vegetables have a like very thick shell or like an outer layer, it doesn't necessarily have to be purchased as organic. So for example, like I don't purchase organic lemons or limes because I'm not like eating the skin of it. I purchase like organic vegetables such as like broccoli or carrots that are like more exposed to pesticides. So using that guideline that I apply, I would say that um, purchasing organic spices could be like maybe better. I'm not really sure because I know that oftentimes like they come in forms that are like powder forms or just like chunkier forms, which people can like hand grind it themselves. So I would go for the safer option of organic. Yeah.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for putting so
Yeah.
much work into this presentation. And it was a pleasure, everybody.